Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rini Migundoon, and I am assigned to report about reflective practice using learners' attainment data. So this topic is a part of an assessment. Diba, when we say assessment, it is a steps or kanang lakang na atong buhaton to evaluate students' learning. Then by using the assessment, diha na to makita kung nabay progress ang atong estudyante o naba sila na learn sa atong i-discuss. So, reflective practice using learners' attainment data is one of the topic that includes in the assessment. So, but before anything else, let us define on what is a reflective practice. So, what is a reflective practice? So, thinking about or reflecting on what you do. It is beyond casual thinking. Requires a conscious effort to think about events and develop insights for them. So, from the word itself, reflective or reflection, it is about reflecting. You as a teacher, you need to reflect to your co-teacher and also to your students. So the reflective practice, it is a key skills for teaching who wants to improve their practice and learn from their experiences. So it involves collecting and analyzing data from various sources such as observations, feedback, student work, and self-assessment to identify strengths, challenges, and areas of growth. So, for example, reflective teaching may include self-assessment, classroom observation, consideration, or exploring of educational research. Teaching reflective examples. So, considering what could be done differently to improve students' outcome. So, seek feedback by asking trusted colleagues to set into the class. So, gathering student feedback and anonymous and take time to read and reflect on it. So, example ani into the real life situation of the teacher is example of reflective teaching includes observing other teachers and comparing their practice to your own, and taking notes on your own teaching practice and thinking about ways to improve. And next is asking for feedback from your students to achieve your self-improvements. So by this, by reflecting from others' practice, so imo pong ma-improve imong kaugalingon, and also imo pong makita kung naabay progress, and also imo pong matandi kung naabay need i-improve sa imong teaching strategies or sa others. So next is what is learners attainment data? Okay, so learners attainment data, it is about evidence and result of various assessment that are used in monitoring and evaluating of learners' progress and achievements. So when we say learners attainment data, muna siya mga ebidensya o mga resulta sa imong various nga assessment. And also, ang learners attainment data is mo po na siya ang mga data na imong gina-collect to monitor o para imong ma-monitor o ma-evaluate ang progress sa imong students. Kung naaba sila learning, kung naabay improvements sa ilaang learnings. So, learners attainment data provide an evidence of result from various assessment used in monitoring and evaluation. So, as what I have said, gina-use ang learners attainment data or mga data na gikan sa learners sa aron ma-monitor ang ilang progress o ma-evaluate kung naaba sila'y progress sa ilang kaugalingon. So, examples, given our progress chart. So, pwede po, example ani is progress chart. And test analysis. Pwede po mag-test analysis ka to collect data. And rubrics. Okay, the document emphasizes properly utilizing on attainment data forms to thoroughly monitor and evaluate learners' progress and achievements. So, that would be my presentation.
Hello, good day everyone. I am Christine Joy Aboak. At this moment, I'm going to continue the report. Now let's proceed to using learner attainment data, a measure of teaching effectiveness. So from the word itself, learners attainment data can be used as a measure of the teacher's teaching effectiveness. This can be analyzed to monitor and evaluate the learner's progress and achievement, which are the results of an effective teaching. Well, we have here some documents that teachers can use to monitor learners' performance. Well, first we have the DLL or Daily Lesson Log. Here, nasa index of mastery that contains the data that measure learners' mastery and level of competency. Then this also shows how the learner is ready for the next lesson. The teacher may use the data to adjust or modify any succeeding activities or remediation. So next, we have electronic class record. So this is including the grades, a grade sheet, and summary of quarterly grades. So the teachers can monitor the performance of the students individually per specific learning area. So with the teachers can see unsa kayo ang mga intervention or adjustment nga kinahanglan. So since this is under the reflective practice, as you can see, the teachers will be able to see the interventions or what are the things that will be needed to adjust in the next lesson. So lastly, we have the progress chart. So here in the progress chart, this is quarterly monitoring based on the class average. So this chart, maghatag siya sa teachers a general assessment of his or her learners' progress and eventually design appropriate activities. So next, we proceed to the suggestion for the use of documents. To use the documents more effectively, so teachers should take a note of the following suggestion. So number 1 here is plan monitoring and evaluation activities. So before the school year begins, we may identify monitoring and evaluation activities to be conducted daily, weekly, quarterly, and yearly. So the documents or the school forms na kinahanglan for these activities may be already be prepared and saved in folders or in the computer. So second one is monitor and evaluate learners' performance regularly and consistently. So a day without monitoring and evaluation, makahatag siya og serious problems in the learners. So learning is so if left unchecked, this will certainly hamper the learner's academic success. So monitoring and evaluating learners' performance religiously according to plan is the best way to avoid potential problems in the process. So next is we have to explore varied monitoring and evaluation documents. So for example, our school maghatag siya og standards documents and school forms such as DLL or Daily Lesson Log or ECR. We can always find or create additional ones that can help us in the monitoring and evaluation process. So for instance, we may also have daily checklist to track our learners' performance or daily progress chart, not just quarterly, but may give us information immediate about the learner's achievement of the daily target so as to provide a prompt intervention. So next is validate monitoring and evaluation documents to ensure accuracy of the learner's attainment data. So a number of monitoring and evaluation documents may be used. So however, we must ensure that these documents are validated and reliable, such as those provided by DepEd, you must do some research and testing of the assessment documents so before gamiton, so the learners are evaluated accurately and fairly. So last but not the last is involve the learners in certain types of monitoring and evaluation. So the monitoring and evaluation is definitely hard work, especially sa atong mga teachers in handling large classes. So as a strategy, we may also instruct our learners to have a group or per monitoring within the class and check their progress quickly, so this may help the learners become more conscious of the quality of their performance and aim for a higher achievement. So these are the suggestions for the use of documents. And that's all my report. Thank you.
So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Fernandez Yapo talking in front of you. I am the reporter, and these are my topics. We have subtopics: learners' test scores, learners' non-tests, data, and other information. So first, we have the learners' test scores. We have evaluating learners' achievement through analysis of tests. For example, item analysis. We have evaluation, refers to evaluation. It is a process that examines learners' responses to individuals' test items in order to assess the quality of each test item and the test as a whole. So, an effective item analysis starts from carefully written test based on the table of specifications. So, it refers, or the TOS, it refers to and how we prepare some if an effective analysis item. So this is just like what we have done a while earlier. We have to establish our own questionnaire using 2S. We have to present it in order to have an effective evaluation in order to assess the learning of the learner. So next we have frequency table with mean score, standard deviation, and mean percentage for evaluation. In addition to item analysis, you may also measure learners' achievement by using a frequency table of pre-test and post-test results. That the mean score, or the standard deviation, and mean percentage of the pre-test and post-test are computed and compared. So, in order to find what we have to compare and computed, which we should post-test and the pre-test should be computed and compared in order to see if there is an improvement or needs to be improved. So aside from analyzing test results, the following tips may be useful. So number 1, monitor and evaluate learners' progress and achievement based on their formative and summative assessments, just like for example, written work or performance tasks, and determine if they meet the learning goals each week. Number 2, we have include descriptive notes of the learner's performance after weekly measurements. And 3, we have track and evaluate learners' progress and achievement using graphs or charts to see if they attain the learning grades. Next, we have the learner's non-test data and other information. We have the non-tests. These are the instrument that doesn't involve tests. It can be a further to learning of a students or learners. So it is an example for this is that the homework, case studies, and problem solving assignments. So these are referring to the assignments and some homework, and these case studies has like research and problem solving assignments. So next we have assessment rubrics for the evaluation, scoring guide rubrics with clear criteria and descriptions of different levels of performance must also be developed and communicated clearly to the learners. Rubrics as an assessment tools has 2 types. We have analytic rubrics. Each criterion dimension trait is evaluated separately. Next, we have the holistic rubrics, are all criteria dimensions traits are evaluated simultaneously. So there are two types of rubrics as an assessment tools. We have analytic rubrics, means the criterion there is a separation of evaluation on how to grade the student's performance, or how it is evaluated separately. So, while the holistic rubrics and all criteria of dimension and traits are evaluated simultaneously. So that's my report. Thank you so much for listening.